You just clicked on the best video for learning the handstand ever. And I want to emphasize this because it annoys me so much when I see people on Instagram or YouTube Shorts or TikToks who are doing all these bagwas progressions of like, first do a pike hold, then do the shoulder shrug bullshit, and then you do the wall to chest and chest to wall, and you do 3 minutes of 30 seconds and for 15 sets, and then you do the kick up and you practice falling. Complete complete ridiculousness. I'm going to be telling you in the shortest, simplest possible way how to do a handstand because this is genuinely something I'm so passionate about because I want to talk about the first point at least. At least watch until the first point so I can get this out and I can talk about how wall handstands are matrix propaganda. The thing is, when I was younger, I tried to learn my first handstand. I was about 12, 13 years old, just getting into weightlifting. I wanted to learn a handstand as like a cool type of thing I could do. I would train it like every so often, no problem. And the thing is, the things people on social media don't normally tell you is how often to train the handstand. They don't tell you that the progressions are just for show, that it's not really as complicated as it seems. And the thing is, I was doing all of the progressions. I was doing the pike holds and the stupid pike push up stuff, and I was doing all of these weird things that kind of looked like a handstand but weren't a handstand. And I spent months making zero progress when I was younger, never being able to hold longer than like 2 seconds by accident sometimes. That was years ago. I hadn't trained handstands, I hadn't trained any calisthenic specific stuff for years. When I recently got into calisthenics for the first time, seriously, like genuinely thinking like I do calisthenics now. When I first started getting into weighted pull-ups and weighted dips and all that kind of stuff, I learned my first handstand using these principles that I'm saying in just a couple of sessions. And when I say a couple of sessions, I mean maybe a week, 2 weeks. Very, very easily. 4 weeks later, I did my first handstand push up. The week after that, I did my first 6. A few weeks after that, I did my first 20. A few weeks after that, did my first 40. A few weeks after that, now I am on nearly 50 reps. I'm able to do 5 in a row, 6 in a row over the course of multiple sets, and I've gotten pretty good at the movement. This is me showing you my credibility, so you know I'm not just ranting. I'm going to be giving you the simplest progression model you can possibly do that's actually going to teach you how to do a handstand and how to learn it without any BS. The intro has been long enough. Let's get into it. Oh, also, I have to do a call to action here. Join my Discord, nerds. It's link in the description. I give you a bunch of free training resources. It'll help you with your calisthenics journey if, like, you're not on weighted pull-ups and weighted dips yet, or you haven't learned your first skills. Anyways, that's not important. Join it if you want to. I don't really care at this time. I want to talk about this. Wall handstands are matrix propaganda. Wall handstands should be a tool to refine specific parts of technique, to refine, to improve, which is cool. But a lot of people online give you training plans centered around the wall handstand. And I don't understand why. You don't need to be able to do a 2 minute wall handstand. Chest to wall, back to wall. Back to wall is the only kind of decent variation. Chest to wall is absolute matrix propaganda. I'm convinced anyone who does chest to wall handstand anything is a figment of the fitness matrix. Tag Mario Rios on that one. Anyways, I've seen people say get to 2 minutes on a wall handstand in order to actually learn it. And I'm going to have like one day, I'm going to get big enough to where like Super Clarkson is going to react to this and he's going to be calling me stupid. Like, yes, you don't need to. I don't even know how to do a Irish accent. Is he Irish or is he like Norwegian? I don't know what he is. Anyways, on topic with the video because I do want to help you. Most people have clicked off, so if you're still watching, thank you very much. I shake your hand. Anyways, 5-year-old girls can do a handstand. You don't need this crazy amount of strength or endurance in order to be able to hold it. You need maybe 10, 15 seconds against a wall in order to be able to start training a handstand. And that's with pretty poor form. That's with kind of hugging the wall the whole time. That's with not being very straight. That's all that stuff. Lesson two, point two, I should say. Attempts are your best friend. Doing 10 to 40 attempts of kick ups to where I burped, excuse me, to where you feel your balance. So I would classify a successful attempt as feeling the balance even for a second. Like you kick up, not like when you're doing that thing where like you're fluttering your feet like this in the air, but like when you kick up, you feel yourself hold your balance and then you fall. That's normal. The thing is, most people don't really need to learn how to fall. Most people don't even need to learn how to properly kick up because when they're training the attempts, they learn how to kick up. Most people don't need to know how to really get straight. And I'm going to be explaining that why in a second. I'm going to be explaining that later, but you don't even need to be straight in the beginning. The thing is, humans know how to fall. You know, if you're about to hit your head, I need to move my head. I need to put my hand in the way. I need to roll in a certain direction. I need to lift my leg up to not fall. The reason why people get hurt is one, because they're scared and they freeze up. Second reason, like I just said, they freeze up. When they get scared, you need to remain calm, remain Tai Chi, remain Zen Buddha. I'm a Christian, so I don't act like that, but still act chill. Act chill. You're doing a handstand. It's not that deep. Next thing, they tighten up. When they fall because they don't want to hurt themselves, which is a completely normal human reaction, but if you were calm, the human reaction would just be lift your arm up and move. That's how you bail out of a handstand. When your hands are on the ground and you start to tip forward, you just lift your hand up and then you land on your feet. It's like doing a cartwheel. That's why people always tell you to learn how to do a cartwheel before doing a handstand, which again, completely unrelated. I've never once had to bail out of a handstand by doing a cartwheel. I wrestled for months. We would warm up with cartwheels. We would warm up with somersaults, front flips, back flips. We would warm up by walking on our hands. I wasn't able to do that because I didn't know how to do a handstand, but some of the guys were. It was really cool. I can tell you, I've never once been in this position and fell into a cartwheel. That's not a thing that fitness people do. And I've seen this, which is why I'm talking about. Attempts are your best friends. You need to be recording yourself. You need to be seeing what worked and what doesn't. Okay, this was a 2-second hold. This is the longest I've ever held. Why did this last 2 seconds? You see, oh, my hips are over my hands. My shoulders are stacked. Oh, I was gripping the ground in a certain way. Cool. Just do attempt after attempt after attempt. And the thing is, you need to watch people who know how to do a handstand. You still need to watch this content. You still need to listen to people explain how to do it. But the thing is, it's not really that important. Attempts are your best friends. In the beginning, you aren't going to be focused on your form. You're going to be focused on just getting holds up until the point of a 5 to 10 second holds. Then you're going to move on to the next thing. Step 3. Once you start getting around 5 to 10 seconds consistently, start improving your form. Get straighter, arch your back less, get your shoulders stacked over your wrists and underneath your hips so you get straighter essentially. That's really the main thing. Once you're able to hold your balance, you're able to control yourself through attempts in a way that allows you to do these things. You're able to move your hips in a certain way. You're able to kind of spread your legs out and get into like a little straddle. You're able to shift from side to side. It's not that difficult to learn these things. It just takes time. You're wasting so much time and effort hyper analyzing your form, looking at your chest to wall attempts, saying, oh, my back was arched slightly. My ribs flared. That's not necessary. It's not. So many guys in calisthenics lie to you because they want to sell a handstand ebook, a handstand course. They show you all the progressions. I guarantee you, I speak from experience. That's more so Super Clarkson's accent. I speak from experience. I coach people. I've coached people to their first handstands. I've coached myself to my first handstand. I've helped other people that aren't like directly paying me through coaching. I've sent one message explaining how it works, and they learn it within a few sessions. And it's relatively straight. And guess what I tell them afterwards? Now that you're able to do it with poor form, Do it with good form. And guess what? 3 sessions later, 1 week later, their handstand's basically perfect. Now they can work on handstand push-ups and presses and all the cool skills and stuff, and they can work on their balance versus spending 6 months going from hold 10 seconds like this, then add a chair, then add a higher chair. Now add presses where you go to the bottom progression, stack 6 progressions now. You go to the wall, do the walks up and down the wall. That's stupid. That's not teaching you how to do a handstand. That's literally not. The people who do the thing where they walk up and down the wall with their feet, that's not teaching you how to do a handstand. Oh my god. I'm gonna have like a brain aneurysm. I thought I muted my mic because I'm getting so passionate. I'm hitting things. Start improving your form after you learn it. This is one of the few skills where that's mostly important. Handstand push-ups, handstands, muscle-ups, all that stuff is mostly you do it crappy, you do it less crappy, you do it less crappy, you do it less crappy. Oh, you did it kind of good. You did it even better. Oh, that's really good form. Oh, really good form, really good form, perfect form, but make it better. Make it more explosive. Do a longer dead stop. Make it look better. Perfect form, but make it look better. Make it look how you want it to look. Instead of jumping muscle up, then banded muscle up, and then muscle up negative. You don't need to do all that. I'm getting tightness in my shoulders from this. So that's it. As you get better, you'll be doing more intense holds, but you'll be doing less of them. So in the beginning, it's not going to be super intense because you're literally only kicking up for like 1 or 2 seconds just to learn the thing. You might have some random like 4 or 5 second attempts, which are going to be super fatiguing for you because that is kind of close to the maximum that your body can hold. But you'll be fine sticking between 10 and 40 attempts and you'll be completely solid. You'll be doing your first handstand in no time. You do not need to, I'm actually going to not go there yet. Lower the amount of sets you do, maybe in between like 5 and 10. Once you get better, as you get better, you can do less and less sets because you're just focusing on balance. You can control your form a little bit better. Maybe you're focusing on other skills more at this point because unlocking the handstand isn't like a difficult thing to maintain. Like once you can do it, you can always do it. At the end of this, I might like kick up into a handstand and like start doing push-ups or something. I don't know yet. I don't want to kick anything because I'm a little bit sore and it's like 2 a.m. So yeah. Anyways, next thing. You don't need to hold longer than a 15-second handstand in order to learn more advanced skills. I got to 48 handstand push-ups in one session without being able to hold a handstand longer than like 15 or 20 seconds. Would it have benefited me? Maybe. I don't really fall over a ton. What was more important? Me doing the weighted dips and the shoulder press and the bench and all that kind of stuff, building up a really good general base of strength and then applying it with balance and also doing a ton of handstand push-up attempts and singles and doubles and a ton of volume, a ton of total reps. That's probably more important than a slightly longer handstand. And obviously there's going to be someone who says, why don't you just do both? The thing is, at least for me, and I'm pretty short and I'm pretty light, so I have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to this. At least for me, my wrists can't take 30-second holds. They just hurt and they get sore and I can't train as often. But when I just do the handstand push-ups, my balance is completely fine. I'm able to hold at the top. I'm able to hold at the bottom. I do dead stop reps. I feel completely cool. And the thing is, the next day, my wrists feel fine, even when I train wrists specifically on the same day. So I'm chilling. I think longer holds are just good for if you want to do longer holds. If you want to learn actual skills, it's not really important. Really not. At least from my perspective within the experience that I have. So, all you have to do is you need to train to the specific thing you want to get good at. If you're learning a handstand, learn handstand push-ups or 90-degree handstand push-ups, or even to do planche progressions, just do the planche progressions. You don't need to learn the handstand first. The balance is completely different anyway. Do the specific thing you're trying to get better at. If you're trying to get better at handstand push-ups, do more handstand push-ups. If you're trying to get better at a handstand, do more handstands. Don't do the weird progression bowl. Train your base, build your base, get to a good level of weighted dips and weighted pull-ups. I personally say 30% of your body weight for 8 reps on weighted pull-ups, 50% of your body weight for 10 reps on weighted dips. That's anyone can achieve that within 9 months if you're starting at absolute zero. Most people probably within 3 to 6 months if you're starting at like 10 pull-ups and 15 dips. Just got to get your dips and pull-ups a little bit higher with body weight, which isn't very difficult. And then you just add weighted, and then you make the neuro adaptations that you need to make, and everything's chill. Join my Discord's, nerds. If you watch to this point, I don't know why. You have to at least like me a little bit, or you find me entertaining, or you like my beautiful setup. Look how awesome this looks. I love this. Look, I have a thing. Oh, that's the complete opposite direction. Anyways, I have a thing right here. Look how sick. Anyways, thank you for watching. Join my Discord. Bunch of free stuff. Or don't. Loss on you. Or if you're way smarter than me, you can join and clown on me and tell me how wrong I am about things. That I'm also cool with because that's a learning experience, so who cares? Alright, cheers, bro. I'm gonna stare at you uncomfortably long.